So what's going on, everyone? How are you guys doing today? Welcome back to the channel. So if you've been following the AI boom, which is what we talk about on the channel mostly, you've probably heard the hype surrounding Marvell Technology. So in fact, in the NVIDIA CEO Huang, he recently called Marvell the next trillion-dollar company, and investors absolutely piled into the stock. We could see, actually, I'm going to show you this here on screen. You can see how well this stock has been moving. So, in fact, the stock exploded higher than we expected, and it has become one of the hottest AI names in the market right now. But here's the interesting thing: everyone's chasing Marvell after its massive run up. Some analysts are now pointing to two other semiconductor companies' stocks that may actually reach the trillion-dollar club before Marvell does. So honestly, if you're looking at the numbers, this actually makes pretty complete sense. It has a compelling case. So in this video, we're going to look at why Marvell has become the AI darling of Wall Street, and why it would become a trillion-dollar company is still a huge challenge, and two semiconductor stocks that could potentially get there before them. So let's dive into it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and follow me on X as well if you're watching over there. So Marvell's become one of the biggest winners in AI infrastructure boom. Now, the company designs networking chips, right? That's one of its main things: custom AI silicon, optical connectivity solutions, and other hardware that helps data centers move enormous amounts of solutions and information between processors. So that's become increasingly important as AI models get larger and require thousands of chips that are working together in a network. Now, NVIDIA clearly sees value in what Marvell's doing. If not, he wouldn't, the CEO wouldn't be talking as positively about it as he does. That's a very, very powerful endorsement coming from the biggest company in the world. But investors need to remember something: a trillion-dollar valuation is an enormous milestone. After all, it's a really big rally. It's a tremendous amount of funds, a tremendous amount of basically hype and conviction to get to that point. Now, Marvel still remains far below that level and would still need multiple times its current value to basically reach that valuation. Now, several analysts have pointed out that while Marvel is benefiting tremendously from AI spending, it's operating in a highly competitive segment of the semiconductor industry. Now, that's where today's video gets very interesting. Okay. The argument isn't that Marvel can't become a trillion-dollar company. It certainly could. The argument is that there are two other semiconductor giants with clear paths. And the first company we are talking about is AMD. So AMD chart is on the screen right now. So the company's already one of the dominant forces in high-performing computing and AI accelerators. NVIDIA remains the king of AI chips. AMD has basically become the clear number two player and continues to basically take share in data centers, which is what we've been talking about on the channel as well. The AI boom is going to have all these spin-offs, certain sectors, maybe some niche sectors of the AI ecosystem, right? And so where it's already become, it's already has a huge, massive revenue, a huge customer base, and it has one of the strongest roadmaps in the industry. So the AI opportunity alone is pretty big. Every major cloud provider is investing billions in AI infrastructure. Every enterprise wants AI capabilities as well. So governments are investing in AI. AMD is positioned right in the middle of that spending wave. So when you look at market cap, we're looking at AMD is already much closer to the trillion-dollar mark than many investors realize. This is why many analysts believe that AMD could realistically join that club before Marvell does. Now, and if that does happen, can you imagine the excitement, the hype, the investments that are going to be made in that company as it nears its trillion-dollar valuation? So let's talk about the second company. We're talking about ASML. I'm going to put that on the screen here too. There you guys go. This one's fascinating because ASML isn't building AI chips. They're building the machines that allow companies to make advanced AI chips. So this is the crazy part. There's essentially no competitor that can do what they do at scale. And that is a very important thing, because once you do something well, if you can do it at scale, you're basically the best of the best, right? They're extreme ultraviolet lithography, I think that's how you say it, systems. They're among the most advanced manufacturing tools that were ever created. Now, companies like NVIDIA and AMD, TSMC, and countless others rely on this tech because they need to produce cutting-edge semiconductors. And in other words, ASML doesn't need to win the AI race. They basically sell the picks and shovels that are used to build it. So as long as the AI boom continues, demand for advanced chip manufacturing equipment should remain incredibly strong. Now, that's why many investors view ASML as one of the safest long term ways to participate in the AI growth. Like I said, guys, niche sectors that are tied into the AI ecosystem, right? Here's my personal take. I think Marvell is a fantastic company. The networking side of AI infrastructure is becoming more important every year. As AI clusters become larger, data movement becomes just as critical as computing power itself, and which comes into play with, all the other things that are going on, right? After the stock's explosive move this year, we saw a ton of future growth, and that might already be priced in. Even some bullish analysts have acknowledged that expectations have become, extremely high. We got to kind of be careful of that stuff, right? AMD and ASML, on the other hand, give investors exposure to AI from two different angles. So, that kind of goes with the whole, diversifying your portfolio. You're having different sectors, different. You're in the same ecosystem, but you're in different niche sectors, right? ASML is enabling the entire semiconductor ecosystem, while AMD is basically competing for AI compute demand. And so, if I had to choose which company would reach $1 trillion valuation first, I'd probably lean towards AMD simply because of the size of the AI accelerator market and how quickly things are growing there, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if ASML gets there as well. It might come a little bit later, but they probably will both be there. The real takeaway is this. So the AI revolution is early, okay? Most investors are focused on NVIDIA because NVIDIA is the obvious winner. It is the biggest company. But then they're going to move to Marvell because the CEO of NVIDIA endorsed it. But some of the biggest opportunities might actually be hiding in the companies that provide this critical infrastructure, which I'm always talking about on the channel. And whether AMD's AI accelerators, ASML's manufacturing dominance, or Marvell's networking technology, these companies are building the foundations of the AI economy right now. So if AI spending continues at the pace we're seeing today, I think the semiconductor sector could create multiple new trillion-dollar companies over the next several years. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know which stocks you think may get there first in the AI sector: AMD, ASML, Marvell, or do you have one somewhere else entirely? So drop your pick in the comments below. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. I just want to thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.